Hey, what's up, World Wrestling Live here. I got another amazing athlete in the state of Florida, not just Florida, but nationally. He just got off a Fargo All-American run. He is a Florida state champion, and now he's over at the Gib, they call it, with Danny Walker and Brandon George. It's Christian Fretwell. If you know, you know. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. So, we had a lot of fun in Fargo, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
How many times have you done that trip?
Twice. That was my second trip.
That was your second trip. More successful this time?
Yes, sir. I went 3-2 last time.
So all the kids out there that went 3-2 this time, there's hope. Keep grinding. He came back the next year, All-American. So that was fun. Fun to watch your run on both sides of that. You did you had a deep run on freestyle, and then you All-American on the Greco, right? So
Yes, sir.
how did it feel? Being there, being with Team Florida, being around all your friends, kind of getting 8 days to not just hit the grind, but kind of be part of the program.
It just felt great to be back, like in Florida, and be around Florida people, friends.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I know we see you all around the country putting in that work. Uh, it's nice to see now. You're back home doing it for Team Florida. Uh, this is your second year at Fargo. What has the experience? We talk about Team Florida and how important it is for kids to really take advantage, boys and girls, to get on this team and get on this bandwagon and get out there and experience it. Really help grow the state, help get Florida wrestling on the map, but also just to go experience it for themselves. Uh, how much easier was the experience or the process this time, being your second time, now that you knew how large the venue was, how crazy the venue was, the level of talent the venue has, the run you got to make?
Well, I kind of always been around like national tournaments since I was little, so I was kind of just used to it and it felt like every other tournament. And
Now, kids that aren't in that position where they haven't really experienced those
Mhm.
big venues, why would you tell them it's important for them to come and experience Fargo?
Um, Great exposure. A lot of colleges are there. Almost every college you can think of: Iowa, Arizona State, Ohio State, Penn State.
Everybody was in the room. I asked this um, with all the talent and all those matches. So this was the first time that I was only focused on one team when I'm taking pictures. So I wasn't running around the room looking for, the top 5 kids in the country and trying to watch their mats. My focus was the Florida mats, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's all I was on. But when you guys are off the mat and you're not in competition with the amazing matches that were happening at that event, do you guys find yourself wrapping around the mats and becoming fans?
Um, I mean, I was in the stands just hydrating up and getting ready for my next match, listening to my music. So,
So for you, you don't become
mhm.
a fan, you just kind of get ready for your next match.
Yes, sir.
Um, but there was some really good matchups there.
There was.
What would through your run? Um, I mean, I can think of 2 matches that I watched you. You won both of them. One was the placing match, and then that same kid you wrestled earlier in the day, and ended up winning both of them. The second one was when we didn't have
Last
the
couple of
and we
seconds.
didn't have the debacle that we had in the first one with everything that went on there. Um, Lucky enough, your coach in the corner um, threw the block and said, "Wait a second, there's something going on there." So it went our way that time, right? Which was good. And I think both of you were really looking forward to that next match, because I think even you winning that match, him losing that match, I think both of you still felt like, eh. I mean, I'm glad I was on the winning side, but it's not the way you really want to win, right? Uh, so that second match going into there, you were pretty prepared. And then the last few seconds when you hit that, what was it? Was it a turn? I think you turned. And
Um, my last one for third and fourth.
yeah,
I hit him with a double over, and
Oh,
yeah,
and you turned him right in front of the corner. You hit him with
yes,
that
sir.
double right at the buzzer. Of course, they threw the block because it seemed not just them, but it seems like everybody at Fargo in every corner throws the block. So the block came out, and they should throw the block in that position. The time was close, right? So you got to swing and see if it goes your way. You spent a lot of time this summer over in Hilton Head
Yeah,
with
for sure.
Coach Estrada. Man, I tell people that he may be the best kept secret in our country.
Yes, sir.
He's such an
Great
amazing
coach.
dude, and South Carolina has just skyrocketed now that he's in that state. But you spent a bunch of time with him, and uh, what did that mean for you this summer?
I didn't really have a summer. If I wanted to place at Fargo, I knew I had to work hard this summer and wanted to be up there. So I kind of had to take some sacrifices for myself to not have a summer.
Man, what makes what he's doing up there so great now that you've actually been in the room and kind of experienced it?
He's a great coach. He makes sure you have your throws good. He doesn't move on until you have it down, and he makes you do a lot of reps, a lot of reps.
Yeah, especially the girls' side, man. He's bringing out some hammers
Oh yeah.
on the women's side, especially his daughters, right? Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, I think I got to interview him when he was still in Colorado. He hadn't moved to Hilton Head yet, and I remember talking to him, and I told myself, man, that was one of the most energetic, awesome conversations I've ever had. He just brings it even when he could be talking about Snickers candy bars, and you're like, man, I want a whole bag now. I remember last year at the grappler when he had that kid make the run. And the kid came back like three straight matches to win the grappler. And I have a video of him in the corner, like, he was going nuts, man. It was fun to watch. But man, good for you. I know we've seen you all around this summer trying to get ready and getting prepared. Um, you won the state tournament in, I think it was eighth grade, right? Was it eighth grade or
Yes,
ninth?
sir.
Eighth
For some
grade.
reason.
Ninth grade, you got to experience the national preps, and you went up there and you got some really good exposure and some experience. But what was I know you've kind of been around the national landscape for a long time, but um, did you get to do some prep wrestling? I know unfortunately it was like COVID year, so were you able to really see the landscape of how preps are? Or were you guys stuck at the bank a lot
For this year,
last year when you were over at up north?
um, we got to do some tournaments, not too many. They would get canceled. So
Yeah,
I got about 30, 40 matches in.
kind of
But
suck, right?
yes, sir.
Well, listen, I know everybody in the state, loves you. You're a great young man doing good things there. Um, what's it been like making that transition back to Florida and getting back home? And I know you and your dad are close. It had to be hard there for the period you were away.
Yes, sir. Um, the transition back to Florida, or
Yeah, how's it feel to be back home?
it feels good. It feels good to be back home, back with my family, with my friends and
Yeah,
everything.
and I know you're now over at Lake Gibson with Walker and George. You've been in the room now a few months.
Yes, sir.
Um, what's it been like finding a new home there and being in that room? I know I think highly of them. Um,
Yeah.
how's it been making that transition and being around them?
It's been great. Coach Walker and Coach Brent's been good to me. Open arms. I can say they're like family to me now. And
I think anybody that's ever around them says the same thing. It seems like they never turn anybody away. If you want to be in their room, they welcome you. If you have questions, you can call them. It doesn't matter who you wrestle for, where you wrestle at. If you want to get in there and roll, they always open the door.
oh yeah.
So I know, one question I would ask you is, as far as being on Team Florida, what would you tell the younger kids coming up why it's important to uh, to represent your state at something like this?
Um, to show Florida that we're a good team. Like we don't really get the exposure that we get for Team Florida, I think. And I think they need to like work hard and go to more national tournaments to see and show coaches what we can do.
I see, ever since I think when I started doing this, you were in seventh grade. You had a decent run at the state tournament, seventh grade, but eighth grade is where you really you transitioned
I didn't
there.
even start seventh grade year.
Yeah, yeah, and then eighth grade, man, you made that run, and it was great. You won that final match against, I believe it was one of your old teammates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know we're probably going to see some more of those happen now since you're back in town. And he's a great young man. You're a great young man. You both represent both your programs well. It'll be fun to watch you guys go at it. And it's kind of cool to see you back home.
Sure.
I know I saw that. So I saw your blog post that you're going to be on you're going up to Elite Eight.
Yes, sir.
Have you been up to that tournament before?
I was there for the freestyle one.
Man, what's that? I have not been up there, and people are telling me, man, you got to bring the camera. You got to go see this place. You got to go watch the wrestling. What is that experience like being in that room with those? I mean, it's like the best of the best in our country.
Oh yeah, it is. No easy matches there. No easy matches.
At that place, you got to find yourself being a fan.
Yeah.
And you're not wrestling. You got to be looking around watching. I mean, you can see number one and number two right there in the venue, right?
Yeah.
We had some Florida guys make some noise in that freestyle venue. I mean, I think that's where Bartelt finally got his due, right? Coming out of that
Yes.
tournament. It's got to be cool, but they say that Mr. Fretwell really takes really good care of all the teams that come in there and does a good job. Not your Mr. Fretwell, but their Mr. Fretwell.
But
I don't know if there's any lineage way down the line there, but
I don't know.
that is pretty cool. Are we going to see you at the qualifier?
No, sir.
No, just straight to what do you do? Grappler?
I'm good. Grappler, preseason nationals,
Okay.
and Super 32, and then Columbus Day duels.
Columbus Day Duel is cool. Yeah, that should be an awesome tournament. I spoke to those guys the other day. They put on I've never been up there, but from what I understand,
Great tournament.
big tournament. 100 teams, 54 mats. It's that's what I've been hearing. I'm like, maybe I'll go take some pictures of that. That'd be fun to go and see some guys. Have you done that one before? Yeah.
I was there last year.
Being all around, I know your dad takes you everywhere for these big tournaments. What's that one tournament that sticks out to you that is maybe the most memorable, or the one that you love to go back to, the one you enjoy the most?
That's a hard one. I've been so many. But I really liked Elite Eight duels, and I wanted to go back this year. Well, for folk style.
Oh, that's cool. So you obviously come from the thought there's two mindsets, right? There's your family obviously believes in the mindset, wrestle, go to as many tournaments as you can, get as many matches as you can. And so far it's worked for you, right?
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of people that say, train until you feel like you're ready to go to a tournament and then get there and then take it a little light. Maybe it's better to go to these rumbles, better to get to these high level practice rooms. Obviously you've done both. Positives, negatives to either one, just whatever works for you.
I think you need to go as many tournaments you can, local or not, and just get as many matches as you can. Like work on your moves that you don't do all the time. Just you got to work on yourself, I think.
So you would say during the off season, as far as the little local tournaments, don't worry so much about going there and winning and losing. Go
I
there
just work on the stuff that you don't do in practice.
so you can get ready. Because I mean, really, some of these local tournaments are fun, but they're not gonna like. What did Christian Fretwell do summer of 10th grade? Oh, he won the local tournament. Nobody's gonna remember that, right? They're not gonna look back and and say, um, who's been that drill partner for you now over at the Give that's uh giving you fits or the one that is really helping you out?
I have Colt Brown, Hayden Witten, Gianni, Tano.
Wow,
Um,
some hammers, right?
yes, sir.
And I gotta think you're getting them better too.
Yes, sir.
Because you're no slouch yourself.
Yes, sir.
The goal this year is the goal this year is state championship, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to making that run. So you're going to the grappler,
Yes, sir. I'm going to the grappling.
and you've been to that one before, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, you might have been were you too young to go to the one up in? No, they take youth when it was up in Michigan. You were up when it's back in Michigan now, but you were at the one when you were like in fifth, sixth grade, right?
Yeah, I think last time I went was seventh grade.
And then the last 2 years they were in the Carolinas and they're back. Kind of nice to see him back in Michigan, I think, but I think the world is going to miss having that convenience, the Carolinas for the Southeast. You looking forward to getting up there?
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
Are you doing elite and junior or just elite? Do you know yet?
I think just elite.
Just elite.
I don't know yet.
Well, Walker will take care of that for you, right?
Yes, sir. You will.
You know, you've been wrestling obviously a long time. Is there one thing that you would tell the next generation coming up? Like, what's that one thing you would say? Hey, do this or stick with this or don't worry about this. And you know, what is some advice you'd give the younger generation coming up in our sport?
Couple things. Your academics is big. You need academics because if you don't have the grades, then you're not going to go to any good college. You work on your academics first, and then you need to work hard, do the extra stuff that people don't do after practice.
Yeah, it's definitely. I was talking to somebody today, and was it today? I think it was today. It was somebody, and I was like, you know, the getting to the club or getting to your practice only happens like 2 hours of your day, right? And what are you doing when you're not there, right? Because just those 2 hours may get you a little bit better, but it's not gonna, the kids that are nationally ranked are not just working for 2 hours a day.
Oh, no, they're not. They're doing the extra stuff. Like probably when they're done with practice, like they go on a run, mile or two run.
You were up in the Northeast for a while. I know you've been into some of those incredible rooms up there. Uh, Getting a chance to be around kind of the best in our nation, some of the best clubs in our nation. What are some things that you took away from that you knew you had to do outside of the room to get better?
I had to stay after practice and I would work on my shots and my defense, like leg defense. That helped a lot. Um, to run after to get your conditioning up.
That's awesome. You know, what do you see, you know, as Florida, as our wrestling state, and you were up in the Northeast for a while, what are some of the things that they do differently? Are they better on the bottom? Do they do top? Do they work the perimeter better? I mean, what is there something they work on that we need to get back here and be like, and we need to do that?
I think they work on everything, but I think they just do the extra work that we don't do. Like after practice, everyone would just do extra work. And then they would do morning practices.
Lots of stuff. Well, it's good, man. You were you think your time away really helped you jump a level and get back here into Florida and to make a difference?
Sure.
So very beneficial for you.
It was huge for me.
That's awesome. You know, I got a chance to sit next to your dad on the plane to Fargo. And you know, I've always said hi and bye. He's always messaged me and said nice things or asked me to make a poster. You know, obviously from 30,000 feet, everybody sees him and they're like, man, he's wild and crazy, right? And he's doing his thing. But it was really cool to get to meet the person, to sit there and talk to him for a little bit and get to hear, you know, just hear how much he loves you guys and loves his family and believes in you and really wants you to do well. So obviously, I think you got a good and obviously you got a great dad there. He cares about you, and I think you got good people around you. I saw. I know your brother's been back a little bit working with you too, right? I've seen you
Yes,
post
sir.
photos. How big is that?
It's huge. For some people, they don't have brothers like I do. Like he'll work with me if I needed him to. Like if I tell him to come in the room, he'll come for me.
You know, one guy I saw you had Keyshawn Clark around there. Did you get a chance to talk to him about that run he made at the NCAA's? Were you able to kind of, man, what the hell happened there? That was awesome, right? Like all of a sudden you like hit overdrive. You got hot at the right time. You know, did you get to ask him, you know, where his emotions were, how it felt? I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah, he said he felt like it felt awesome, like the greatest experience he's ever had.
I mean, he was just, it had to be, it was
So
incredible
exciting.
because the week before he really didn't do much at the regionals or whatever at the continent, and then he goes there and does that. It was awesome for us Florida fans in the stands, man. We were going nuts for him. So good for him, man. So what's the biggest thing you took away from working with him? Was it wrestling or was it mindset?
Um, I think wrestling, but a little bit of both. He talked with me with both.
Yeah, because he seems like a really really smart guy.
He is. He's a great guy too.
That's good, man. Well, man, you know, listen, your dad being able to give you those opportunities to have people like that come into your room, into your house, man. Take advantage of them. Love those opportunities because, man, how many kids get to say they got to do that, right? So, uh, really awesome. Well, I know you're probably wanting to get to dinner and hang out with the family. I can hear them all back there. Uh, so you're going to be in 10th grade. You're in 10th grade this year, right?
Yes, sir. I'm a sophomore.
All right. So it, you know, is there a dream school for you at the next level? Have you even thought about it yet, or are you just moving and grooving?
I thought about it a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool, man. You know, I look forward to following you the rest of your high school career. I know my kids are gonna um, travel to UFC with you guys. So you know, their club is going to Journeyman, so I've always wanted to go to GFC. So they're gonna be on your team for that. So if you get a chance, put Zachary in little headlocks and give him a
I
little bit
will.
of, but if you get a chance to mess around with him at all, he needs to work on, they pull his hands and he falls straight down.
I'll work with them.
Does that does that happen a lot with the younger kids?
Yeah, I had a problem when I was little. I had a problem shooting with my head down.
Yeah, it's like maybe he's learning balance or he's learning how to get in that stance and maybe he hasn't grown into his feet yet, but he falls right to his face. Daniel gets so mad at him. Um, but yeah, so it'll be fun to kind of be around you guys. I'll have the camera with me. I'll be shooting photos up there and it'll be a good time, man. I really appreciate you coming on.
Of
I
course,
know,
anytime.
I know it's not a comfortable feeling, right, coming on to one of these, but uh, I do appreciate it. And, you know, I hope we're doing this again multiple times as you grow and as you hit different levels. And, you know, I wish you and your family lots of luck and enjoy the family over there at the Give. And man, just do your thing.
Thank you.
You have a good night.
You too, sir. Have a good one.
You too.